Hello.
Yes.
Yes, I can hear you. This is Talha.
Okay. All right. Okay. No problem. Well, we'll resume from last week's class. So last week we went through a bit of the sales part and a bit of the introduction part here. Okay. So we'll continue on from here. I'll show you this time the CRM marketing. Okay. I haven't done much CRM marketing, but I can show it to you. The marketing module is on, we click on sales, we click on marketing, and then we can create campaigns. Okay. So in here, we can create a quick campaign. Sorry, just the campaign. And here you can name your campaign, you know, like YouTube advertisement campaign. Okay. And your expected response, you're proposed to start. So maybe 10%, you propose to start, let's just say Monday, and propose to end, let's just say Friday. Okay, and the actual start, we could put it as the same date. And the actual ending, you could put it at the same date. Okay, so this is your quick campaign. Okay, so if you just click on save here, save. Okay, here we go. Okay. Save, and then you have your campaign now. Okay, and then you could again launch activities in the campaign, add tasks, and so on and so. Okay, so yeah, I don't know much about campaigns, so like I haven't done much about it, but I'm just showing you a bit about it. Okay, the next part is the case management. Okay, so if we go to services, I think it is, and we can create a case. Okay. So when we create a case, let's just say the printer is down. Okay. What you will do here is you create a new case. And you'll say the printer is down. And then you probably add a subject to it. One second, let me see this. You add a subject to it. Just by default, we'll select the default subject. The customer, this will be part of your contacts. So you can just say, and we added, I think last time, Donald Trump. All right, and then other information we could fill out here. Okay, and then we can create a case. So we can save and close. All right, so printer is down. We've got this case here. Okay, then you can go to the next step to what you call it, is the case resolved? Should we cancel the case? And yeah, you can proceed from there. Okay. So in this case, we'll just say, yeah, if we contacted a person, we'll put in all the activities in here, and then we'll just say case resolved. Resolution, we added new ink, and we resolved it. Problem solved. You can see the status now, problem solved. Okay, if we go back to cases, if we have our open cases, we don't have, it's not in our active cases. It should say open cases, but if we look at our closed ones or resolved cases, we would see here that, where is it? Printer. Printer is down, it's down there. Okay, so now the question is that how do we go about modifying these forms? Modifying the, I'll specify with the sales here. So if we have the sales, right? So, or let's just say we have the contacts, right? What if we wanted to add another field to this form? Okay, how do we go on about doing that? Okay, so what you'll do is, let me just see, that's part of my next one. Okay, I was going to teach advanced find to you guys. Let me just show you quickly advanced find, then I'll tell you how to modify the form. Okay, advanced find, this is a very handy tool. If you click on advanced find here, you got all your entities. So you got your contacts, you got your accounts, you got your marketing campaign, campaigns, you got your cases. All right, so let's just say if you wanted to view a case, so we just created a case called printers down. So if we wanted to search for a case, we'll go here and say we wanted to search for title, I think it is. The case title where contains printer. We select, and we can see here that our title is, our case is showing here. Okay, so this advanced one is pretty, you know, you can do a lot of queries here. Just using, if you wanted to add another one which says where title is contains printer, and where probably status, would it be? Status is resolved. So you'd see only 2 records here now. Okay. Did you guys get that? Did you guys get that?
Yes.
Okay. All right. So that's the advanced find. Okay. The other thing here, you have this download Fetch XML. Okay. Which you could download here. This is used for programming purposes. If you wanted to query this exact data, so you download the Fetch XML. I'll just click on the Fetch XML. It's basically an XML data. and you can put this in your code, and you can query data using Fetch XML. So yeah, I'll show you a bit. If we go here and Google it, so CRM Fetch XML C# query. Okay, and if we wanted to use Fetch XML here, let's just see if this works. Let's just see a sample here. All right, so this is a bit of a code, don't get too confused. But the part of the Fetch XML is here. You add the Fetch XML in the code, and then what you'll do is you run these queries. This is using the CRM SDK, and then you get your result, and then you can loop through your Fetch XML record. So in this case, we have the case. Where is the case? Fetch XML incident. I think it's called incident in the background. In the front end, it's called the case. In the back end, it's called the incident. Okay, and the way to find out how do we get this name incident, if we go back to the CRM, we can go to one second. If we go to settings, and what I'm about to show you is the solution here. Mate, I'll go here, customize. And this is, don't get too overwhelmed by this, but this is the solution where you can customize. And the incident where you saw this data, where's that value coming from? Basically, in the solution, I'll go through the solution later on with you guys. These are all the entities, okay, in the solution. And basically, if we go to the case, if we look at the case incident, this is the case entity that we're looking at. And we can see here the name is incident. Okay, this is the internal name. Okay, that's where it's getting this data from, incident. Okay, so the entity name is incident, and the attributes we're getting is title, tick number, created on, incident ID, case origin, and so on. So we're filtering by condition. Okay, so if we wanted to, let's just say if we go back to the advanced find, and if we wanted to add more columns, all right, in the search. So if we go back to the result here for a sec, I just want to show you that we're getting case number, case title, case number, case on, origin, and I think that's about it, right? The title, ticket number, this is ticket number, credit on, I think origin, I'm not sure what that is. I think that's probably the incident ID and so on. So, but if we want to add another column in our search result, we'll just go to here, edit column. And we'll add a column. And let's just say we wanted to add another column called check email, which is part of the form, right, which is another field in the form. We click OK, and we run the result. And now we have check email. Okay, no, okay. That's the two records, and that's the values from it, okay? So if we wanted to download Fetch XML now, we download the other one. If we compare it, this was, one second. This was our first one. We can see here, this is our second one, check email. Okay, so when you do the C# coding and you run the Fetch XML, it will grab the check email record for you. Okay, it's a bit confusing, but I just want to show that to you. That was one way you can retrieve data. Okay. Did you guys get that?
Yep.
Okay. All right. So let me just close everything. I'll run through the solution with you guys later. So that was the advanced file. Okay. What do we have
Murtaza
next?
bhai, can you listen me?
Yeah.
Murtaza bhai, the same process but vice versa. If you have the XML file and you want to run it, from that you need to fetch a data. Here you are generating the XML file. If you have the XML file and you want to get the query from the XML file, how will that happen?
So what you do, right? So you got the Fetch XML here. So what you do, you just copy this. You just right-click, copy, and in your Visual Studio Code, I won't show it in Visual Studio. What you'll do, because I haven't opened in Visual Studio yet, but you copy this data, and then what you'll do is you got the data here, right? And then what you can do is you can you can copy this data, paste it in your Visual Studio Code here, and then you can query your data from it. Do you get what I mean? So you got this here. You just copy it, and you just put it in your code, and then you can retrieve the data from it. Okay, you can obviously use the sample. You've got to use the retrieve multiple requests group, class, and then you do a query and you do a fetch expression, and then you get your data and you then you can loop through it, the entities.
In that case, we need to use the Visual Studio.
Yeah, this is all, for C# coding, you need Visual Studio, right? So,
Okay, fine.
all right.
Okay.
Okay, so let's go back to CRM. So I showed you the advanced find. Just get rid of this. All right, next part is the CRM portal. Okay, I haven't used the CRM portal much, but I think you should be able to create a portal here somewhere. Yeah, I've got to come back to you on that because but if you want to create a really customized portal, you can obviously there is a CRM portal you can use here that that'll create for you. But the other thing is that that if you want, you can always create a custom .NET application portal. But obviously, if it's got an out-of-box CRM portal, you can customize the CRM portal. I'll try to see if I can get that up and running next week or something. If not, then yeah, we can talk offline about it and go from there. Okay, I just don't have that set up for you guys, and yeah, I haven't done the CRM portal that much. Not using the out-of-the-box CRM portal. Okay, next one we have the default solution. Okay, so we're in the solution here. So if we have the sales, service, marketing, settings. So we go to the settings and we go to the solution. Sorry, settings. We go to customization. Right? We have the customize the system. This is the default solution. Okay, this has got everything in it. And this is a customized solution that we could create and export. Okay, so the default solution has all the information in there, all the entities, all the records, and what you wanted to say. If you wanted to only customize the contacts, right? And obviously, when you customize the contacts, you want to export that data to the next environment, like the UAT and production. So you're not going to go and customize it directly in the default solution. You create your own custom solution, and you'll add the contact entity in there. And then what you'll do is you customize whatever you want to customize, and then you can export that solution, and then you can import it into the next environment. Okay. So if you guys ever get into dynamic CRM in the workforce, you'll probably be using this very heavily. Okay. So I'll show you the customized solution. Okay. So I just browsed that to you guys before. All right. So don't get too confused with this. All right. This is everything involved with CRM, all the entities, all right, like your contacts and your accounts and everything. So we had, I'll just show it to you again. We have the contacts here, and in the contacts we have all the forms related used in the contacts. All right, all the views. So the views you saw there, like my opportunity, all opportunities, close opportunities. These are all your views, same as your contacts. Okay. So, well, if you want to create a custom contact, so for example, there'll obviously one for my contact. If you go to my contact, my active contact, okay, what you can do here in the customized solution is, let me just keep this open. I will go to the case. Let's just go to contacts, and we have my active contacts. All right, so that view is related to this my active contact. All right, and there's other views here, all contacts. All right, that's related to this. Okay, so if we wanted to customize the view, for example, we'll click on all contacts. And we can customize the view here. We can go here. If you wanted to add a column here, for example, all contacts. So we have full name, email, company name, business phone. But if you wanted to customize this, all right, so click on add column. So we have here, sorry, let me just cancel this for a sec. We have full name, email, company name, and business phone. But if we want to add another column, say we wanted to add, what would you add? Say we want to add address one street name, or the postcode, for example. All right, we click on that, address one state and postcode, we click OK. All right, we've got the address one postcode here. All right, I'll just drag that here, and we'll click on save. Actually, I'll just click on save and close. All right, and then we can publish. So this was for the all contacts we did. So if we go back to the all contacts, just publishing this 1 second. Okay, it should publish any time. Okay. Taking a while to publish. If we go back to here, why is it taking so long? Page unresponsive. Okay. If we go to all contacts, wait, hold on. Okay, active contacts, all contacts. You'll see address one added here. Okay, so that's how you modify the views. Okay, then you have the forms. Okay, in the forms you have a whole bunch of forms. So if you click on last week we created this record, Donald Duck. We have the bunch of forms here. We have contact for interaction, LinkedIn integration, AI for sales. Okay, so if we go here, not all of them are showing here. So in the contact, so if we have here AI for sales, this is active. All right, we have contact. We have contact for interaction. Okay, we can order this. We can show here. We can the main form. What we wanted to show in the main form is here. So these are all the main forms. We have the contact. We have the contact interaction, interactive experience, LinkedIn integration, AI for sales. If we yeah, these are the main forms we have. Okay, so if we just go here, if we have a look at the forms, these fields are all connected in the form. It's not like if you view a different form, it doesn't mean it's different fields. It's the same field. So the first name and the last name here is the same field as the what you call it, first name and last name here. Okay, they're just different forms. Like different forms, you can kind of say, like how would you say? You wanted to, for example, the LinkedIn integration, right? In this, you'd have the LinkedIn information here, the member, the LinkedIn widget here. Okay, so in another form, you might not want to show the LinkedIn widget. Okay, and then you can customize to your in your company which form you want to show as the form what the users want to see. So, for example, in this case, they want to see the this is the default form, and you can customize this form as well. All right. So if we look at the contact form, in the contact. If we look at the contact form, here are the forms, here are the fields related to the form. So you have your full name here, you got your full name here, you got your job title, company name, email, and so on and so. Okay, here are your fields. Okay, all your fields here related to the form which you can add. Okay. And basically, if you wanted to create a new field, you can click on create new field. All right. Just these fields here, all these fields you can see: address one, city; address one, country; address one, county; address one, fax. Right. I'll just close this for a sec. And if we click on fields here, all these fields, address one, country; address one, county, are all here. You can add your field here, or you can add your field directly in the form. So if you click on new, you can add your field here, okay? Or you can go here in the contacts and create a new, create a, go to the contact form, and let's just add a new field, and so we add a new field, okay? So let me just explain this here. So we add a new field. And we'll call this, for example, industry type. This will be our display name, okay? And is this a required field? Okay, is this mandatory? Is this searchable? Okay. Don't know much about this one. You want to keep it for auditing, okay? And basically, yeah, and then we specify the data type here. Okay, so we got the single line of text, which is your text field. You got your option set, which is your drop-down list. You got multiple select option set. You got your two options, which is like your true or false, or yes and no. You got images. You got what you call it, the whole number. You got your currency data type. You got your date and time, and you have other fields as well. Lookup. I'm not going to go through all the fields. I'll just go through the option set. You can play around this in your own time. All right. So we have an option set, and we created an option set called. Okay. Over here, just before I create this option set, it says use existing option set. I would say there's other option set, global option set, which I could use, which I can create and use. So I don't have to use. I don't have to create one directly here. I can create a global option set, and we can use that we can use an existing option set. Okay, so I'll show you how to create a global option set. So if we close here, just 1 second, I'll close it. Let me close the form. If we go to option set, okay, option set is nothing but a drop-down list. All right, just keep that in mind. So if let's create a new one. We'll create one here, display name, industry type. Okay, that's the internal name. And then we'll add a field, right? So we'll add some values here. So one we'll call this here IT. These are the values for it. By default, it assigns these values. This one we'll call here accounting. I don't know. This one we'll call here sales. Something like that. Okay. So we save and close this option set. So now we have an industry type. If we just search for it, industry type. Okay. Now, say if we want to use this industry type, we go to the entities. We'll go back to the contacts. forms, and we create a contact. We have a contact form here. And then we can create a new field. We'll call this type of industry, or you can call it industry type, whatever you want. Okay, and then we'll click on option set, and we can select the global option set. Use existing option set, and we'll just select industry type. All right, and if you want to assign a default value, you can. But in this case, we won't assign a value, and we'll click save and close. So we gave the field name, type of industry. Okay. So if we search here, under T, let me just save and close and open it again. All right, under T, type of industry, let's add that here. We'll add it just below the job title. All right, and we click on save and close. And click on publish. All right, now what you'll do, what you'll see here in the contact, well, it takes a while to publish. Sorry, guys, it's just taking a while. Hopefully, all right, it's published. So now if we go back here and give this a refresh, we should see industry type here. And we see industry type of industry. Okay, you guys get that? Did you guys get that?
Yes.
All right. All right. So, all right. Let me what you call it? Go back here to the. So this is how you customize your form, right? That's the forms and the entities, all right? I won't go through all of them. Actually, one thing is if you wanted to create a relational field. If you want your okay, we have, for example, a if you want to add, for example, like, for example, in the contact, we wanted to reference another entity. Okay, so for example, here, if we look at, let me just close this for a sec. If we go to the advanced find, and if we have, like, for example, a contract, for example. Do you have any contracts here? All right, we've got some of these contracts, all right? What if we wanted to add this contract into here? So if we just click on one of them. We can see this is one of the contracts. Okay, so this is something created out of the box. All right, so what if we wanted to add these contracts in here, in the contact? Okay, so what you'll do, so we have the contract entity, okay, reseller, okay. So what we'll do is we go back to the, if we go back to the solution, if we go settings, if we go customize. Now, what I advise you guys is that it's not good to customize in the default solution because you can't export it. So let's create a new solution. We'll create a solution here. This solution you can export to other environments. Okay, so it's not the best idea to customize a default solution. You should customize a custom solution. So we'll just create a solution here. So we'll just call this this display name. We'll call this test customized solution. Obviously, you give this a proper name. All right. Just ignore the publisher now. We'll just have it as a default publisher. That'll get a bit confusing. This is if I discuss about the publisher, but for now we'll just have the default one. On configuration page, I think we'll usually leave this blank. Yeah, and the version will just go 1.0.0.0. All right. So if we click on save, now we have now we created this solution. Okay, test customized solution. But now let's say we wanted to add an entity. Okay, so what we'll do is in the entities we'll go add existing entity, and we'll search for the contacts. We'll click OK. All right. Which form do we want to select? So we'll go contact. All right. Do you want to include? These are saying these are the related entities you wanted to add. So we created this type of industry. So we can add this. But if we didn't want to add this related entity, we don't have to add this in the solution. But in this case, we'll add it in the solution. This is something we created. All right, now if we look in the entities, we only have contacts here. All right, this is our custom solution. All right, the default solution had everything. this is our custom solution, what we want to modify. Okay, so keep that in mind. The custom solution is what we want to modify, and the default solution has all the entities. Okay, so in this case, we go to the forms. We have the contact form. If we want to add more forms, we wanted to modify, we can click, just 1 second. We can click this add subscription or whatever it was. And we can click that button, and then basically we can add more forms here. But we just want to modify the contact one. Okay. So let's just say we wanted to add a lookup field called industry type, right? So sorry, contract. Sorry. So if we add a new field, we can call this contract contract details. Okay. And then what field is this? This is a lookup field. Okay, this is looking up against the contract. All right, it's going to create a relationship here. Okay, that this is a one-to-many relationship or many-to-one or something like that. Okay, we'll click on save and close. So we call this contract details, right? All right, let's just click on save and close again. And we'll open it again. And we should see here contract details. We have the contract details. Okay, so where we added the industry type, we'll just add that here. Contract details, we'll give this a save. And we'll publish it. All right, that's published. All right, so if we go back here back to the contacts and the contacts. We'll just select Donald Trump, for example. And here we can select the contract details, okay? It's looking up against the reseller. Sorry, against the contract. So it's looking up the contract details. All right, remember the reseller, all that stuff. So we can, if we wanted to add this one here, we'll add it. And therefore, this contact has this contract details. Okay, and we can give it a save here, clicking here, and that's it there. Did you guys get that? Got it?
Yes.
Okay. All right, so the next part. So that's a bit of the, now that's the entities. You can also add option sets, which I showed you. You can add web resources, okay? Web resources are custom JavaScript files, HTML files. You can add, if you go back to the form here, you go back to the contact form. You can see here automatically it added the contract because it's linked now. So it added the contract entity here. So if you go back to the form, and if we wanted to add custom HTML stuff here or JavaScript stuff, we can, these are other sections. We have the map view. So if we go here, the map view should be here somewhere. It's not showing. We have the, this is the social panel. This is the social panel here, I believe. The wait, hold on. What's this? Wait, this is not right. We have the contact information. We have the social, the icebreakers. What company here? Let me just click on this here. Now, this is called icebreakers. Why is this called company here? Let me just search for icebreakers. Sorry. Okay, we got companies here. Customer details company. So far, just let's modify this. We have company here. We have, I think these are fields that are not showing on the form. Let me just double click on these fields. Let me just double click on these sections. Icebreakers. Visible by default. Yeah, it's not visible. Okay, if you want to make this visible, for example, if we click on here and make it visible, we click on OK. All right, and we'll double click on it. Just one sec. We also wanted to show the label in the form. Okay. And we'll show a line on top of the section and we'll make it visible. We'll click OK. And if we wanted to add what you call it, the companies here, the recent opportunities here, recent opportunities. Okay. So if we wanted to add another section here, we would insert a section. Right, one column. We'll just add here somewhere. Okay. And we can add a web resource. We can link that to a HTML file here, HTML, CSS. So web resources, all your HTML files and your CSS files and your pictures. I think pictures here as well. Okay, your HTML files, you can look up against that. Okay. And so let's just add this image here. Yammer enable. Okay, let's see if that works. So we'll just call this test image Yammer enable. All right, and just display label on the form. We'll click OK. and we added so we enabled the icebreaker, and we added this test image. Let's see what that does. So let's publishing. Sorry guys, this takes time to publish. All right, publish. We go back here. We should see icebreaker on the form here somewhere. Probably up here somewhere, I'd say. We see icebreakers here, okay, and test image. We see the test image here. Okay, that's how to add sections, and you can add fields to a section, you can add web resource to a section, you can add all those type of things. Cool. So that's the entities part. All right, your web resource, your process. Your process is your workflow, okay? So I'll show you process as well. So say in this say if our say if our business phone number started with 0 actually say if our address, or actually say if our preferred, this is just an example, say if our preferred method of contact was say email, okay, this is not a good example, but I'm just showing to you. Then we wanted to say make this value what you call it, we'll put an NA here. All right, we'll put an NA here, okay? So to do that, what you do in the process, we'll create a new process. And we'll call this here, we can call this here like workflow 01. This is just a naming convention. All right, and we can call this the entity name, we'll go contact, and we'll here create and update. So what we want to do, create an update, and we'll just call this here update fax value. All right, we'll specify this is the workflow, okay. All right, in this case, all right, and we'll specify the entity, which is the what you call it, contact. All right, this is a new blank process. All right, we want to run this in the background. Click OK. Okay. All right, so if we click on here in the process, all right, let's add a step here. So we'll say here if check condition, if preferred method of contact preferred facility equipment is preferred. Okay. Contact here as well. If yep, preferred method of contact is equal to email. Okay, we save and close here. So that's our condition. And then we say here, if it's, then we add a step. So if it's email, then add a step here. We'll add, 1 second. Sorry. Right, let me do this again. Hold on. I just had issues here. With this step. All right. So add a state for the step. So we add a step. Right. With this step. Yeah, that's right. Now let's add a stage. Sorry, not step. Well, let's just ignore the condition part. Let's just go straight to the facts. All right, we'll just ignore the condition for now. We'll just go update record and set properties. And we'll set the facts value to NA. All right. So what I wanted to do is I wanted to add a condition saying that if the preferred method of contact was email, then add NA. But in this case, all the time we'll just add NA. Okay, so we go save and close. All right, and we will save this. Sorry, just one thing: when the record is created, when do we want to execute this workflow? When the record is created, and we can have it as when a field value is changed. Let's just say if the preferred method of contact value is changed. Preferred method of contact value is changed. We click OK. All right, so we execute this workflow when a record is created or when a preferred method of value is changed, when a field record is changed. Okay, we click on save. And we activate this workflow. Activate. All right, now it's activated. Okay, so now let's close this. All right, we have a process here. So now let's test this. Okay, let's give this a refresh. So now we have the facts, right? So the facts, let's just say our, what do you call it? We updated the preferred method of contact. Okay, we gave it a save. All right, we'll give this a refresh. Just have a look at the facts here. And we can see the facts is NA. Did you guys see that?
Yeah.
Okay, so that's what a workflow does. You could, if you change a value here, if you create a new item, it would set the, you can do other things to the fields, like set this field to NA. Okay, so that's the process. And the plugin is related to your C# coding if you want to create plugins. So these are your DLL assemblies, and your messages is like the event, what you want to do to the event. This.
Murtaza bhai,
Yep.
can you, in the first lecture, you mentioned about this plugin and you gave a brief, explained a bit about it. Can you just explain it with an example that this is plugin or this is the process of plugin? Because I'm a bit confused about it. I could not comprehend the concept of plugin.
Okay, so plugin, just think what I did in the workflow here, okay, where I said that if we change this value to the preferred method of contact and then we populated NA here, okay, so we can do that exactly with plugins as well, but we can use C# coding with that, okay, so obviously, the objective is to use workflows as much as you can. Use the out of the box stuff. If it doesn't require code, then just use out of the box stuff. Okay. But if it requires custom code, like for example, if we said the preferred method of contact is email, and then you want to fetch data, or let's just say, for example, here I'll tell you a good example. Okay, I'm going to use a plugin. So we'll go to accounts. All right. So here is the account name. Okay. Well, let's just say you had a value called the ABN. Okay. And from the ABN, we wanted to verify if this is we wanted to get the trading name and the entity name. Okay. So obviously you're not gonna, you need to talk to other systems to do that. You probably need to go to ABN lookup, right? So you go here, you'll have your ABN lookup here, and you probably need to query the ABN lookup web service, I should say. So if you go to the you click here, the web service. So you obviously need to do some C# coding with this. Okay, this gives you some examples, sample codes. Okay, and then what you'll do is where's the rest one? You see here we go, the rest one. So they give you a keyword if you got an email, the ABN lookup people, they give you a keyword. And then what you could do is you can search ABN lookup names similar to that name, Commonwealth Bank. All right, it'll show you the similar names. Or if you wanted to search the ABN and you want to get the entity name, you can do that as well. Okay, so you need C# coding for that. Okay, you can't just go and where's the form?
Okay, Murtaza bhai, just one more thing. Can you just write this on Google plugin for Dynamic 365. It gives the brief description of it. It is like an event handler.
Yeah, that's right. It's an event handler. It's just a bit like workflows, but you can write C# coding and you can do more things. You can even write C# coding in workflows as well, but it just depends when you need to when to use what, when to use. For example, if you want to send like 1,000 emails, you probably wouldn't use a workflow for that, right?
Okay.
You probably probably use some console application, or you want to use the plugin to send like 1,000 emails or something. You know what I mean? Those type of things. Like again, if you wanted to like if you wanted to event handlers like create and update, you can use the plugins for that as well. It's just using C# coding for that.
So how is it changing the behavior of the platform? Because in the definition of it, it was also mentioned that it changes the standard of the platform, or it acts as an event handler.
What do you mean by that, changing the platform? So
I just read it on. I just searched on. If you have time and you can just write on Google plugin in Dynamics CRM. So this is the main definition which turns out to be of this plugin. So therefore, I was asking just after going through it, I could.
okay. I mean, the main user I use it for, I'm not sure about the definition, but the main user I use it for is for event handlers. So let's just say if I wanted to copy data, sync data from industry type here, where is it? Let me just go back to contacts. If I wanted to, we have a contact here. Let's just say we have an industry type here, okay? And let's just say we had an industry type in the account as well, or the company, right? Crm Bank, and we wanted to sync it. So if we update the account industry type, it will update this value here as well. You'll probably use maybe a plugin for that, so it can update all related, all the contacts related to the industry. Sorry, all contacts related to the accounts. You would you can update that. You can use C# coding for that and create a plugin and do a sync between accounts and contacts. Does that make sense to you?
Okay, fine.
All right. These are the other ones that I haven't used that much. These are some of the out of the box report. Truly speaking, I don't even do out of the box reports. So if I do reports, I'll do it in Power BI, those type of things, or SSRS. But you can create out of the box reports as well. Let me just quickly go through it. See. This does come in handy. I'm not saying that it doesn't come. Just the fact that I don't use it that much doesn't mean it doesn't come in handy. You can create some visual reports out of this. So let's use the report wizard. Just taking a while. All right, let's start a new report. I'll just go here, opportunity details. Test opportunity details. So primary record will select the opportunities, related record type. We won't select anything here. And here, report filtering. So these are the views we can choose from. So we'll go here, all opportunities. Just ignore this one here. continue. I haven't used this that much. So if I'm not doing something properly, then I apologize. So we want to group. So we will key to add a group. So opportunities will group by the status. Okay, the status is won to loss. All right. Sending K, click the K. Click here to add a column. We'll say here, we'll add the name or the title. Just 1 second. We'll just have the topic. I think the topic is down here. Topic, click OK. If you want to add another column, we'll just add one more. Let's just say if we had a revenue column. Revenue. Okay. Next. Table only, chart. Do you want to show it in the chart? We'll just say table only for this case. Okay, click next. The report was successfully created. Okay, finish. All right, and let's just go here, action. Okay, just 1 second. Just save and close. Let's just save here. Let's run this report. Let's see if it's running. Okay, filters, return to the report. Okay, here's the report. Okay, all the lost, all the open, and page number 2, open, 1. So you have the report here. Okay. So yeah, you can do some nifty things with the out-of-the-box report. And yeah, then you can add these reports to your inside your CRM. Okay. All right. So that's with reports. What's next? Customer solution, import export solution. So if you want to export solution, if we go back to the solution, so I'll just close that browser. So click on sales, settings, solution. It's taking so long. Okay, we have a test customer solution. Okay, now if we wanted to export this, we can export this data here. We can publish or customization. It's better to publish it, but in this case, we just export it. So like, for example, in the solution, just before I export it, I just want to show you what we customized. So we customized all this stuff, contacts, we created a report, we created the workflow. Okay. When it's unmanaged solution, I'm just letting you know, unmanaged means that you can customize it, those solutions in the next environment, like your UAT. If it's managed, you can't customize. Okay, so it all depends. If it's inside the company, it's not it's up to the business if they want to decide if they want to deploy as an unmanaged solution or a managed solution. But just keep in mind, manage you can't customize. But obviously, if you have a product and you wanted to sell that product to another company, then you'll deploy it as a managed solution, and you don't want it as an unmanaged solution. Okay, so these are what we have in here. So if we go here, if you want to export, we can export this. Next. 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 All right. All right. Unmanaged. Next. And then eventually you'll see a zip file here, download. We'll just take this time. Here we go. The zip file. Okay, this. So create a for solution, and then what you can do is, this is our solution file. Okay, it's a zip file, and then you can import this zip file in the next environment. Okay, like UAT production, so on and so. Okay, to import, you would go here, you would go import solution, and it will ask for the zip file. And then you can import your solution. Okay. You select the zip file. Select next. It shows you all the solution package details. Okay, what you've customized. The contacts, labels. This was your report, test opportunity details. And we had our workflow here as well. Workflow. Okay. And then we'll import, and then I'll import that solution here. And that's it. Okay, and then you should see all those. Once it's imported, you should see all those changes you made in the next environment. All right. So that's why I recommended that when you do changes, don't do changes in the default solution. Do changes in the custom solutions, so you can export it and move it to the next environment. Okay, any questions? It's 11:58 now. Any questions? Guys? Any questions?
No.
Okay, cool. What we'll do, we'll end the class for today, and then we'll hopefully we'll move on to the next topic in the next class. Cool? So we'll hopefully have the next class on next Sunday as usual, and we'll go from there. Cool?
Okay, thank you very much.
All right. No problem.
Thank you very much.
No problem.
Take care. Have
You
a
too.
good day.
Thanks.
Bye-bye. Khuda Hafiz.
Bye.